Hello and welcome to Never a Straight Answer Extra, the midweek podcast we put out midweek because we're just generally quite nice like that, and we've got shit tons of extra news to cover that we didn't get through in the main episode. Pretty cool main episode this week. I was really down with the old ghost stories.
Yeah,
you know, generally
definitely fucking old.
Haunted underground.
There's loads of old ghosts, definitely.
Ghosts generally are old. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You never see a young one.
You know,
well, you might do. But, you know, how long ago did they die? Do you have to do you have to take that into account when you're aging a ghost?
Well, no.
I don't know.
As I believe it, quite a few people generally see after the death, or just literally just after the death. Well, they're, different places. They Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Well, I'm your host, Gaz, and joined in the studio, as always.
Drunk as a skunk.
Smoking the skunk, by the sounds of it. It's Mr. Taylor. How you doing, bro? How's your midweek treating you?
Yeah, same as the rest of it.
Normal. Well, I'm feeling a lot better. I was teaching yesterday and Tuesday, doing a bit of photography.
And I'm starting to feel a bit more rougher.
Oh, bless.
Yeah,
don't die on me, mate.
No.
Overall, I don't want to be doing like
I want to eat my pension age.
Haunted Taylor stories. It's like we used to do a podcast here in this old building, and now
I'd be pretty good.
And now he haunts it with his. All you can hear is fish fingers and stupid other comments.
I don't know where would you?
You're not stupid.
Where would you haunt if
I could haunt anywhere
or anyone?
It would be... No, I was going to say something stupid like my ex. No, I'm only joking. I don't know. I'd like to haunt somewhere that I'd get a bit out of it. So say like a theatre or, like a concert hall or something where, like, you get the benefit of being... You can second a show. No, you just get to enjoy the shows being put on and, music being made. And,
Well, if they shut it down.
I wouldn't haunt somewhere like, in a
Buckingham Palace,
a pissed off state and be like, fucking I'm a ghost and pissed off. I'd be like, well, this is an opportunity for me to go wherever I want, or reside wherever I want.
Yeah.
So if it's the West End and I want to catch a show,
yeah,
fucking go there and haunt there. Do you know what I mean?
I'm staying in the palace. He ain't gonna knock that fucker down for years.
Would you consider? Right. I mean, there's always sightings of ghosts, and they say, it was here where they died, or it was here where they had an history.
Yeah.
So they always haunt this place.
Yeah.
So, I mean, does it have to? I mean, do you think that ghosts are tied to a certain area where they died, or like you say, what does have a history?
Well,
or do you think that a ghost could go wherever they want? Really?
Is there any sort of tie to a certain area, like?
Because I've heard of spirits following people when they've moved house, and they've said, the ghost came with us.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so, famous films over them as well.
Oh, yeah, a couple. Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Good one.
What's it called? There's
that's the one.
Exorcist,
no, Poltergeist. I think Poltergeist was one of them. I'm not too sure. Second one.
Yeah, there was a little truth to it or something. I know there was something going on with that.
Well, there you go. I think hauntings and stuff's a really interesting sort of topic to cover anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's always going to be there, it seems, anyway. Or we're all going back.
Yeah, we had a bit of an argument. Not an argument, but a bit of a conversation last week.
Yeah.
After the show, we'd finished recording. And
last week?
Well, yeah, this week.
Yeah.
And it was just a quick conversation about N64 games for some reason.
Yeah.
And we got into this little what was the best N64 game.
Yeah, and I said GoldenEye. And
no, you didn't say GoldenEye.
Yeah,
I said GoldenEye. You said Super Mario. I said it was fucking GoldenEye.
Hold on, let's get this right. I actually said Super Mario 2.
Yeah, you did actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there was a big response. It was GoldenEye.
And I switched my mind. I believe
good man.
It was right.
Yeah, everybody believes
only
because
you played it in front of me.
Oh, it's a quality game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Yeah. Well, back in the day, yeah, it was.
Oh yeah, for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. If you don't agree with me, then go fuck yourselves down. Okay.
Oh,
get on Twitter.
Naughty boy, saying the F word on there.
Watch fish. Go on Twitter and
Fish,
tell me
yeah.
I'm wrong. I don't know.
Feck, it's called.
Feck.
Feck.
So, anyway, it's an extra. It's a short one.
Yeah.
We've got some news stories. I've got a few funny stories here. And a couple of interesting ones. Time travel's a big thing for me. I'm big into time travel.
Yeah.
I think this week's episode coming up
Yeah.
is a big time travel episode. So
yeah.
fucking something to look forward to.
Yeah.
It's a topic that we should have covered ages ago, but I've been saving it.
Yeah.
I want to do some proper research on this.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting one which could be debated quite a lot. So
it could.
Keep an eye out for that. That's episode 70, which is coming up this week, next week. Yeah, the next one available, big episode. You'll notice it. We'll make a big song and dance about it. Yeah. But there's a scientist here who's trying to travel back in time. He's basically trying to do it. He's basically, the past has been said a foreign country, and sometimes another country we yearn to visit. We can't, of course, travel backwards in time. It's been theoretically theorised that we could travel forward. But this guy's trying to do it. He's basically...
How the fuck? Because you need to have the machine to go back to it to actually time travel.
Well, this guy, he's basically called Ron Mallett. He's an astrophysicist. And he's basically dedicated much of his adult life into the notion that time travel is possible, and he's come up with a scientific equations and principles upon which he says his time machine could be created. So, whilst acknowledging that his theories and designs are likely to allow time travel in his lifetime, for years he's been working on trying to get this off the ground and see it before he kind of fucking snuffs it. Mallett was age 10 when his father died suddenly from a heart attack, and an event says that the scientist says has changed the track of his life forever. Right. So for him, the sun rose and set on him, and he was just basically, one of those things that he wishes he could go back and visit his father. His dad, who was a TV repairman, and installed his son's...
So that's why he's ultimately doing it?
Yeah, of course. I think that's what he is doing it. He wants to,
I think someone's had the sherry a bit too much at Christmas.
Well, he's got a reason why he wants to go back, and he's dedicated his whole life to it. But he says he's patented... time machine, he's basically built a time... He's invented a time machine, and in principle, he says it'll work. So... we'll see what happens. This is on CNN, so check it out. The article's pretty interesting. Talking about time travel, though, got another story here about H.G. Wells. In fact, this guy actually says, he had a lot of inspiration from H.G. Wells. Yeah. But H.G. Wells now is going to be hitting... It's going to be turned into a stage play. In London's Library, marking its 125th year since publication of the Time Machine novel. So that's pretty interesting.
I would have thought it would have been on stage ages ago.
It probably was, but I think the film's a great film, and with the Morlocks and the Time Machine, H.G. Wells.
Yeah, but which one?
There's been so many different adaptations. I think one of the original ones that I liked was, one of the first ones I saw was the 70s version, where it was like the Morlocks were, like, and what were the other species called? Because they basically split into two species. You had the Morlocks, which were the sort of underground beasts, and then you had the really pretty people,
when they were like on top.
So I mean, it was a really good film, but I think obviously I like the concept of, and I love the visuals of the time machine. So he's basically he starts it up, and then literally the whole decay of his property he's building, how he kind of travels, and then the reverse, is just as kind of like visually pleasing to watch, where it's like he starts travelling back to his own time, and then the building starts appearing around him, and deforestation and all that sort of stuff. It's really cool. And especially, I mean, was there a James Franco version? A recent version? Was it James Franco, or was it somebody totally different? I don't remember really giving it much time, even though I have seen it.
I think the black and white, I'd say near enough original, or maybe even the second one that was ever made. I think I can't remember fucking actor to save my life at the minute.
Well.
Who's him who did Jurassic Park?
Who do you...
Guy with a beard, white.
Oh, not McKellen. Attenborough.
Attenborough, yeah.
Yeah, Richard Attenborough. David Attenborough.
Yeah.
One of them. One of the Attenboroughs.
Yeah, one of the Attenboroughs, I think, was involved in the film, main actor.
Basically, the library that was founded in 1841 is to invite visitors to travel through time alongside the writer who created the first making time machine. I think the author H.G. Wells. Wells created the time machine as well as War of the Worlds, The Invisible Man, and the library member for more than 50 years. Basically,
well on it.
Bram Stoker, author of Dracula, and Sherlock Holmes creator Arthur Conan Doyle were also regulars, as was Charles Dickens, George Eliot, and William Makepeace. Makepeace Thackeray, I think. So basically, this library is basically putting the play on. Yeah, I think. But obviously, H.G. Wells was a kind of a visitor of that library, so it's quite apt. Right. They're gonna do it there. Yeah, I think that's quite interesting. I like that. I mean, I like the fact that they're doing that. I would love to see how they're going to do that. Do you know?
I've already imagined how they're going to do it. They're going to be the machine in the middle, the background changes, and then every now and again when he stops, someone comes out, blah blah. You know, dinosaurs. Right, we've got a couple of dinosaur legs here hanging out the side, and then we're going to go somewhere else.
So projection.
I think more like the background is going to be the view of where they're going to end up. Turning up.
If you want to get tickets to that, it's being held at the London Library, and like I say, it marks the 125th year since the publication of H.G. Wells' Time Machine. So pretty cool. If you're in London and you like a bit of theatre, check it out.
I've been to theatre for years, man.
You've got a big story you want to talk about? Do you want to do the little ones and we'll finish up on the big one?
Yeah, man.
All right, no worries. I've got this story about 1,700 bats invade a tiny flat and start mating.
What the fuck?
I know,
fuck
imagine that.
Flat?
And this is it. No, well, does there have to be anything in there? It might have just thought.
Why? How have they got in there? If they've gone through the window, there's something that's sense them to go there, and another sense to go, get in there, there's a fucking orgy going on, quick, before they fucking finish.
Having a mouse in the house is bad enough, but when one family had to basically contend with something even far fucking spookier, they found their flat had been invaded by over 1,700 bats who chose the high-rise building to become their love nest.
Fucking hell, is that it? Because it was in the high-rise.
Yeah,
oh my days.
So the bats wanted somewhere warm and cosy to mate, and as well as hibernate for the winter season. They found their way into an enclosed balcony and settled down. So they didn't invade the flat as such. They invaded the balcony. Which included a cupboard, drawers, and stacks of vegetables.
You can sell tickets, get people having a look.
The photo, though. I mean, if you saw the photo, it is pretty. Whoa, it's pretty intense with the amount of bats and guano.
That's a money maker there.
Yeah, the guano.
But are you going to clean it? Oh, mind you, you are.
So, they basically hundreds of the creatures crawling over each other, many of them young, and the tower block. Basically, this was all happening in the Ukraine. So, bat scientist, Dr. Audrey Tessa Bashta, who was called to deal with them, said that they were engaged in a bit of what the bat do at this time was mating.
You know where he went wrong? Should have called Batman. Batman would have sorted it out.
Well, it is their mating season. Batman probably could have sorted
it. A love nest.
He said the owners placed an urgent call to remove all the bats. We contacted them, and they were removed. There was about 1,700 animals in all.
Fucking hell, that's a lot in one.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, but it was for
about 80% of them were young, judging by their teeth. Now, obviously, this guy knows his bats. Yeah, you know what I mean? He knows his bats when he's looking at him. He goes like, "Yeah, that one's a youngster. Check the teeth." So yeah,
Fucking
there you go.
mad.
So
Mad.
if you're living in a high
Mad
rise
nature.
and you hear a bit of squeaking, just check your balcony. You might have some unwanted visitors. Now,
Flying bats.
last story before. Have you got any little stories, or do you want me to? No problem. We've got one last story, and this is obviously it's getting colder now. Winter months are creeping in, unless you're living in places like Australia where it's fucking ridiculously hot,
Or on the equator.
more than the equator. Yeah, right. It's getting cold, right?
Yeah.
You can feel the temperature dropping.
Yeah.
It's weird though because it was like quite warm today, but
But they keep saying that it's going up. The weather's fucking funny now. You know what I mean?
Isn't
you can never tell what the next day's going to be like. I mean, the forecast can only do 4 days, but they predict like the next fucking 4 months. But most of the time, I suppose they're wrong.
well, one complaint that's always kind of comes up most years is gritters. Gritters, there's not enough of them. There's,
Oh yeah.
They're
definitely.
out there. They hit the roads when it gets icy and they start gritting all the roads.
Good people.
But there's not enough of them out there. There's not enough of them, getting the work done, which means there's potentially more accidents and all the rest of it.
That's because Westminster's taking the money from the council, so they can't go and buy anymore.
Well, they've actually been given some money to go and buy some. Then there's been a whole fleet of new gritters
Nice.
that are coming in and hitting the streets of Manchester.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's because I think 7 areas got 25 million apiece.
Well, the government or the council have asked the public to choose some names for the gritters, and they've come up with some pretty special names.
Great fun.
You've got names such as Basel Salty,
Nice.
Grit Astley,
Great Ashley. Oh, I think everyone knows that one.
and Snowby Gon Kenobi.
Oh, no.
And they've even had an endorsement from Mr. Noel Gallagher.
Oh.
Because he's got one named after Mancunian Oasis star. Noel Gallagher has had a gritter named after him. It's called Snoal Gallagher.
Snog. Oh.
There's also Greta Thunberg.
Greta Thunberg.
Yeah.
Oh.
Amongst other pun-filled names chosen by the new fleet of 8 salt spreaders in Manchester. The council have asked for suggestions on Twitter and received more than 2,000. So basically, the catchiest 24 were then put to a public vote, and the final series went to a poll.
So
with
they're
nods from-
definitely...
They're the names.
They're the names.
So
Fuck
Greta
yeah.
Thunberg and Snoal Gallagher will be hitting the streets of Manchester doing a bit of gritting this year.
I don't see any.
Other winners named include, like I said, Basel Salter, Grit Astley,
That's not too bad.
Spready Flintoff,
What the...
Spready Mercury, Snowby Gone Kenobi, and Slush Away.
Slush away. No, that ain't too bad.
Slushy
Slush
away.
I suppose.
So, yeah. The names are on a play on TV comedian Basil Fawlty, Rick Astley, the English cricket captain Andrew Freddie Flintoff, Queen frontman Freddie Mercury, Star Wars character Obi-Wan Kenobi, RuPaul's Drag Race star catchphrase Shaway Away.
Shaway. What the fuck's Shaway away?
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah. Well, there you go. Just means that there'll be less accidents over the winter months. They cost about 960,000. What they invested into it. So good on them.
Yeah.
Makes a change when you find that actually we're getting some good sort of
there's
public stuff that's
services
public
are
services exactly.
coming back. We need that public service definitely.
I'll be buzzing when I see Snow Gallagher rolling down the road,
Oh,
protecting
I'll be throwing
that
snowballs
grit,
at it.
spreading that grit. So yeah, well there you go. There's some stories for you. What have you got to talk about, Captain?
Oh, when I fucking heard this, I thought it was diabolical, mate. Diabolical.
Diabolical.
Yeah.
Go on, what we're
And
talking
it's
about.
all to do with a massive big company in the USA. California.
A big company. What sort of company?
Yeah, they're called Pacific Gas and Electric.
What? So they're an electric company?
Yeah, PG and E, basically. No.
We're gonna turn it on. We're gonna bring you the power. We're gonna light up the dark night like the brightest day in a whole new way.
In a whole new way.
And they did do that.
What, they didn't bring you the power?
No, they brought the power, and
What?
they made it differently.
With the electric company. Right, go on. Sorry about that, Ro. What are you saying?
Well, basically, in 1997, 2017.
I've thrown you off
Yeah,
with that one. Sorry,
you
didn't I?
have. You
Yeah,
threw
go
me.
on.
In 2000, August. Not August, sorry. Yeah, sorry, August. The beginning of August 2017. There was a massive fire.
Right,
That
okay.
cost 10 billion, basically. So the reason behind it was there was this company's electrical wiring had sparked fires off.
So what did they go and do about
16.
it? So basically, it was like, if this is causing fires in public residences.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah,
okay. So
yeah.
it's obviously their wiring faults.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's down to the electric company. Won't play the song again, but it's down to the electric company.
Yeah.
The electric company to sort it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were responsible for the payment of the damage that had been made. So it was a £10 billion bill. So basically, the company turned round to the government and said, "Look, if anything like this happens again, we can't be responsible for it now because
Yeah,
if
so
we
what?
are,
The government have bailed them out and
Yeah.
fixed the problem. But
Yeah.
this is the thing, isn't it? It's like you can't, as a company, if you provide a service, it's you're being paid for that service.
Yeah.
That's what your income's based on.
But they're
So
saying they go bankrupt.
you can't go for a government fucking bailout.
Oh, they did worse than that. Basically, they ended up 2 weeks after that statement had come out, and where the legislator had been going to the courts and changing the law and saying basically if any damage happens because of their equipment, they're not liable.
Negligence.
Yeah, and it passed. Basically, 2 weeks later, on the 31st in California, it was passed. So about a month later, another set of fires happened. Now, do you remember we were talking about these houses that were burnt down, but none of the green around it had?
Right, okay.
In California, and I was going on about how there was a story going around that group of aliens were living there, and basically they could only come out at certain times. Someone
Right,
knew
okay.
about it and try to kill them, basically.
I'm going to kill those aliens.
Yeah, basically, because it was weird because all the houses and buildings were totally destroyed, but none of the greenery had
And
been touched.
isn't that a weird sort of reverse on the trend? Because normally it's
It's usually
the
and
grass
stuff like
that's
that.
burnt and flattened and wrecked,
Yeah.
and then other bits aren't.
Paradise, it was in the Paradise one, where there was a few people who died. I think, if I'm right, there was 85 people who lost their lives on that.
What? And do you think that?
18,000
And was this
properties.
down to this electric company's negligence and
It
faulty
seems to have been.
wiring?
Yeah, it seems to have been because satellite images shown that two sparks, because there was two different areas.
Now, is this down
hot.
to a kind of an overload at the plant, and it's overloaded?
Looks like faulty
certain-
wiring all the way through.
But I know, but if there's a kind of a surge at the source, then it's gonna blow lesser means further down the line.
Yeah,
So
you
if
mean
I've
the
got a
environment
residential
around it.
house, and it's not too far from the and range has got a little to do with it, I suppose. But
Yeah.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, people. But like, if there's a surge at the source, then if your house isn't adequately surge breakered and stuff, where it'll cut your electric off if there is a surge, then
And you're fucked,
then you're
basically.
fucked.
But there's supposed
Your
to be
house
the
is going to
equipment
catch
there.
on fire. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Basically, so
Yeah.
if it's a case that the electric company's not, they've cut corners and they've using shoddy fucking resources when they were fitting it, originally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if it was down to the resident to make sure that their house was up to code to match improvements made by the electric company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's two in equal problems with it, because if you turn around to the company and go, right, all right, then you'll go bankrupt. Right, well, you better make provisions for you to leave this company.
Oh, of course,
pass it on to another one, but it will take ages to do.
It's what? So you're saying? Well, it's like any company, isn't it? If you're going bankrupt, the thing is,
but they're getting away with
it.
That
Seems to me it's because they're an amenity.
Yeah,
like that they're getting away with it. If it was Nike or any other company and they were like, "Oh, we're going bankrupt,"
they won't, because of the jobs.
The government won't bail them out, but it's because people rely on that plant. They can't just close the plant tomorrow.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Because that means a fucking 100 million people won't have fucking power, or whatever. The immediate area won't have power. They can't close it down, so the government have to step in because they can't see all their citizens fucking down without power until another electric company takes over.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can appreciate why that they've bailed them out, but it's not a case of that they should be held responsible for.
Oh, they were actually made responsible for the electrical. It was an electrical transmitter line that started the fire.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so it had already been through the courts and all of that. And it was the deadliest wildfire in California's history. And it's not only that.
So it was actually the fucking electric company that sparked that wildfire off.
And yet the people who, the poor people who's having this done to him, are paying the people
obviously,
who've done it.
Yeah, they're paying the people to burn down their fucking environment
and start all over again.
And then they've got
totally
to rebuild and pay for all their possessions and rebuild the homes and the lives. And then you've got the fucking electric company going, oh, it's all right because we're getting government bailouts, so don't worry about it.
So why should we go out? No doubt they've made a deal that as soon as they get back on their feet, they pay the bill off. But till then, how do you know that they won't sell the company to someone else who doesn't realise about this deal? And
well, I think if they were selling,
why don't they go bankrupt in 10 years' time?
Kind of, make everything transparent in terms of what their business dealings are, and especially if it's gone public to this extent
and then go
as
bankrupt.
Well. Oh, they could do.
You know what I mean? And right, well, we don't have to fit the bill. We're all right. We're nice and cushy because we've just sold the company. Bye-bye.
And it's the other guy's problem then, isn't it?
And not only that, it ends up, it turns out, like in October 9th, the one that's just gone.
Not this one coming up then?
No.
Right,
they've been cutting off power to like 500,000 people.
Okay, for what reason?
Because there might be a fire because of their
faulty
equipment.
Right, okay.
And not only that, it's the starting. It's not only. It used to be in the south of California that used to have all these fires all the time, but now they're in the north as well.
Well, this is the thing about this is I mean, these fires when they spread. I mean, look at Australia at the moment. It's when they spread, and it's a mix of kind of dry weather, and then these things happen, and it spreads. It's resources, it's manpower, it's trying to keep it under control, and sometimes I think it's like with Australia at the moment. It's like they've got to the point now where just what they'd normally do to tackle a blaze like that just doesn't work. Do you know? I think they're at their very wits end and end of the line rope wise. Do you know, in terms of what they can do? Do you know? But like these ones in the States, it's
sounding like the companies are starting it and not taking the consequence.
Well, it's different when it's not a natural disaster. Like it's just something that, like you say, it's arid conditions and it's baking hot sun.
It's because of the winds,
and
the
winds and heat
and,
and it just happens. It's tinderbox and it goes up. But like when it's an actual company's responsibility and it's their fucking fault, basically, then they should be held accountable. They should be kind of the CEO of that company should be fucking sacked. And they should be looking at restructuring, getting a new sort of a new sort of way, you know,
Yeah.
a new safer,
Yeah.
revamped version of their service where they go out and they go, right, okay, we're going to turn the power off, but because it's not because we're worried that there's going to be fires. We're convinced there probably will be, and that's why we're fixing the problem, and that's why power's going off. It's not going off because we're trying to prevent the fires. We're trying to fix the problem.
But like in America, they're like the environmental, you know, people of America. You know what I mean? Because they're the ones that, you know, Arnie was in control of them, and they were going all green, trying to get, you know, green as possible. Which, as far as I'm aware, they've done an all right job. As far as I'm aware. So all that work of keeping the green,
Of course,
it's gone up in smoke,
yeah.
and not probably, but have killed people.
Kill people,
through
wildlife.
So that's corporate
vegetation.
manslaughter that they're getting away with as well.
No, they shouldn't be getting away with it. I think, like, if you're in the States, especially in California, if you're listening, you know, I'd try and do something locally about this because, you know, obviously, if you have been affected by it, then it's an angle check it out because that's an angle there that you need to investigate because
it will be
it's
on your
not only
doorstep.
that, it's you know, you keep allowing these big companies with
what's the
zero
alternative?
accountability to get away with this stuff. And then, well, the only alternative is you go self-sufficient, right, in terms of electricity and stuff like that. And, solar powered, wind powered, stuff like that.
But do you know,
but because of safety regulations, I think that you probably find you'd end up with more small fires and homes burning down because people don't really know, or they DIY it, or
Well, I suppose you can send out engineers to help, but like,
of course,
at a price, but. It's the actual cherry on top of the fucking cake is that every year that they have to pay, which I thought was disgusting, the Rothschilds investment group a collection of billions to them.
What? The Rothschild? The Rothschild group who own this electric company.
They own parts of it, yeah.
Right. Okay. So it's these billionaires who have actually got the money to sort the problems and reimburse families.
Could it be done on purpose?
Families who... How do you mean? What do you mean?
As in, right, force people to actually go into being more using your own solar power.
Well, why would that? I mean, at the end of the day, like you say, if it's people like the Rothschilds who have got investment in big power companies, power, gas, water, any of your big, what is it they call them? Big six, yeah, right. You know, those are essentials. They're essentials, things that people can't live without. They can't power the washing machine or the fucking whatever, yeah, and it's
but for the last 20 years...
You're held hostage by the fact that we need these amenities, so if I was a billionaire, then of course, yeah. Why do you think they're on the monopoly board? The water places, the electric company.
Yeah.
They are properties and, facilities that people can't... The guaranteed money makers is what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
right?
Well, this will make them money if they decide to... Because they're putting...
You're going to make more money if you cut corners. So, that doesn't surprise me. But it's the fact that what they're going to do about it now to make the situation better, and are they going to invest money into the revamp of this company to make sure that the people who are using it are safe, yeah... the area's safe.
That's going to cost billions.
Conservation's not going to be affected.
Won't like that.
Fucking the myriad of fucking reasons why you should take a bit of accountability and responsibility.
It just shows you how close industry, bankers, and the New World Order is so closely together, and how bypass things.
They literally have.
Easy.
It's not even a case of bypassing it. They own everything. It's like
we're passing the buck.
It's literally like being on a monopoly board. You own the electric company. You own the water companies. You own the media outlets. So basically, you're only warm because of us. You only get washed because of us. You only get
the money
entertainment that we choose and deem suitable for you. Yeah.
Unless you got pirate.
It's not even a case of if you listen to people like us, quality, but the fact is, it's like the mainstream sort of amenities and facilities that are available to people are controlled by the
Highly
people
controlled.
who we don't want to be controlled by. Yeah. And it's it's fucking fucked up world we're living
my
in.
thing, man. We're all free, but like. You know,
no.
Well, we're supposed to be all free.
It's an illusion.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an illusion of freedom. Yeah, you get to
We're all
walk around
slaves to the
and
trade,
you
man.
all get to roam around and pretend to be free.
Yeah,
But,
but
ultimately, if you don't play ball, right? If you decide tomorrow, fuck this, I ain't playing with these dickheads anymore. I don't want to be in part of society, right?
Yeah.
So you don't want to work, right? I don't want to work. I'm part of society. That's bullshit. Yeah. Right. So. All right then. Well, you're not going to work. Then obviously you've got nowhere to live, right? So that means you're on the streets, right?
Got no money to get
at least
food.
you've got your fucking, your thingy about him.
Yeah.
I've got my self-respect because I'm not paying into the system, right? But then
how are you going to survive?
But then you can't survive. It's like you cannot survive in this world unless you play the game, right? And they know you rely on playing the game and making the world so appealing that with influencers and like reality shows that show this glamorous life that if you work hard enough you can do it too.
After taking piss out of half of them. Or most of them.
So it's like, it's you are in it's a perpetual motion machine. It's like they want you to aspire, so you work hard and earn money. Yeah, because that's all going back into the system. Yeah,
because every country is its own actual company. Every country.
The only way you can really, really, truly do it is if you go super off grid. Yeah, and you go and live in the fucking Alaskan wilderness or something. Yeah, because it's the only way you can physically get away from the system because you're so You'd have to know you would get protein and stuff because you'd hunt. You'd learn to be a self-sufficient person.
But you won't be able to have a house there or anything like that because, especially in Britain, if you do that, you will be taxed for it.
Oh, of course, yeah. Well,
so there's no way you can have a house. The only way you could possibly do it is have a cave or something like that.
Literally, like a natural formation. Yeah, now this was here before I just moved in.
But if you end up having electric in it and end up having water in it,
it's
a dwelling,
and
you'll get taxed for it.
Twats.
Yeah,
you can't get away with. You cannot get away with just living off grid and being your own fucking man, can you? It's crazy.
It's the same with the car situation. That you have to have the license. You have to have this, that, and the other, but you don't if you're a traveller because the license.
No, personally, I like modern living. I like
I like modern living,
and the thing is, but it's like
for what purpose? So
well, it just means it just feels like you're doing more working than you are living. Yeah. So it's like and for the little you get at the end of it after paying your way, and after paying your bills and your rent and your roof over your head or your mortgage or whatever.
Most people can't go out and
you can't go out and enjoy yourself. It's just a case of that you're working to survive. Yeah. And when you've got people who are working to survive, they've got young families or got, and they can literally just afford to get the bills paid and feed the kids, and you're going hungry because that's all your wage allows.
You have to pay this, that, and the other.
It's funny, isn't it? But
funny old world.
It's a funny old world.
It is.
But
hopefully
I think companies like this, the electric company, what were they called again?
PG&E.
PG&E.
Yeah.
There's fucking places, people like this, they need to get their acts together. Do you know what it reminds me of? Like, again, The Simpsons, where you've got some dumbass like Homer Simpson as your safety officer. Well, do you know what I mean? And it's like, I think a lot of people can coast in jobs, do you know, where they can get away with not doing very much, but make it look like they're doing stuff. And then all of a sudden, a decade later, the shit hits the fan and things fail, and it's too late by then because it was like it
makes me it makes me want to go and do. Makes me want to go out and actually be one of them cocksucker managers right at the top of the bill.
What? So you can have
so I can get away with fucking murder. Well, I could do anything and then walk away.
But that's the point, isn't it? Because people get to that point where they go, oh, well, I'm going to get to the top, so I can do that. Then it's not we need more people saying, I want to get to the top, so I can change it and make things better. But
a lot of them say that, like,
and then just go, oh, well, I want to get to the top just so I can take advantage of the system too. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I think there's too many people out there who were acting and behaving that way. It's not a case of you get to the top to, with power comes great responsibility, as one Uncle Ben once said. Yeah, and if you've got that power, then you've got a responsibility. You should be using it for fucking good, not for
but it's
not
the
for
shoulder
lining your own
pushes, innit?
pockets. That's the difference.
It's the shoulder pushes. You do this for me. I know what you did in that.
Well, this is it, isn't it? It's like you've got the people. It's like we're all on the take. You're on the take too. Yeah, and if you don't take, then you're dodgy. Then, and I don't trust you because
you won't get anything.
What stops
from
you
us.
from grassing me up now?
Yeah.
Do you know? I understand that.
Yeah. There's a lot of dodginess, but it needs
bloody hell
cleaning up. But time will tell.
And
Hopefully, the alliance is doing it.
Well, there you go. Time.
That's another thing I forgot to say about the Pfizer report has been dropped.
The Pfizer report.
Yeah, it's a report in America that the investigating the FBI for the instance of investigating Trump of the allegations of Russia.
And
the election,
the elections,
But there's a Wallace, I think it's a Wallace report that's coming up in mid-year, which has got a lot of other stuff.
They can't get him out though, can they? They're trying every approach, but
there is going to be some surprises early this year on who's going to be in that report and who's going to get done.
Okay,
apparently there's
something to look forward to in it.
Apparently there's a lot of surprises in it. This is what I've heard.
We'll keep you posted on that.
Yeah, we will.
Well, hope you've enjoyed this week's midweek episode. We've been just basically shooting the shit tonight, so I hope you've enjoyed it. I think that was a really interesting topic and story. I think there's a lot of dodgy stuff going on there.
Makes me want to go out and investigate companies, man, if I had the wealth.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, well, you can do that.
Yeah, but I ain't got the wealth all the time.
No, there's ways of just of researching and finding out. But
to a certain degree,
it's like you want to turn up on the doorstep and say, "I'm here for an audit."
Yeah, audit, man. Yeah, you're fucking first on that one.
Got me clipboard, bro. I've got high vis and a clipboard, mate. I'm here and I'm serious.
As soon as we leave Europe, I'm knocking on their door. Yeah, I'm auditing you, mate, first before we fuck off. You or us. Bang, bang, bang.
Sit in it. This is what I was saying about fucking. Oh well, there's a whole other topic we'll go into next week. We are going to be talking about what we're talking about. We're talking about the price of fish. We're talking about boats. Yeah, one big boat in particular.
One big boat. Yeah,
and
a load of sailors.
Really cool. A load of seamen.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of seamen.
So we're talking about big boat and seamen this week on Never a Straight Answer. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that and miss any episodes. There's plenty of episodes now available. Almost 100, well, 70. 70 episodes.
Well, if you count the
there is actually, with extras and everything else, mate. There's like getting on nearly 200 episodes of content available for your perusal and download. All great topics. Yeah. We don't talk about any old shit on this podcast, I tell you.
Go out, investigate, and bring what we find.
So, if you're interested in paranormal, weird stuff, aliens, UFOs, conspiracies, anything like that, you know where to go. Go and check out some of the older episodes if you're new. Yeah. And if you are new, thanks for listening. Hope you've enjoyed it. Tell your friends. We're here all the time. We're here when you need us. Yeah. Yeah. So, and we're very vocal on the old Twitter as well. So if you want to chat with us or you want to send us an email, you've got a real life story that you want to share with us and you think that we might find it interesting and want to base an episode around.
If we do, we will talk about it.
Like the Outer Body Experiences episode before Christmas. It was a pretty cool one. Yeah. All based on a listener email. So if you've got an email, got a story for us, email us at neverstraightanswer@gmail.com. Alternatively, you can go over to the website. You can contact us through there. Yeah. There you can find news articles written by myself, EJ, and Taylor. Yeah. Also, there's all those are available in the case files.
Yeah, case files. We've got videos and that in there, information.
Links, associated stuff that's based around the web episode. You can find downloadable content, YouTube clips, everything. Everything's on the website,
Goodies,
and that's at neverstraightanswer.co.uk. Anything else we want to talk about?
Sure. Price of fish.
Price of fish. If you want to help us out and help us get some fish,
Yeah.
Now, I don't want some fish. I want, you know what? I want to bloody eat. I want to keep me electric on.
I want a quid or two.
I want to be able to help power my house.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you want to help us out, you can get over to Patreon.
Yeah.
Donate us what you can, basically. There's some extra content, and more will be going up when we get some more patrons, I suppose.
We need more patrons.
We need more patrons to warrant us putting more content up, because there's like literally like not that many. And as well, I always watch YouTube, and I watch the most random YouTube channels, and they all go, "Oh, here's our list of patrons," and it's got like about 500, and I'm like, "How the hell?"
500 people. They've gone on Facebook, haven't they?
Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
If you want to get on Patreon, help us out. Stick a quid in the pot. You know, if you
love
like what we do, we've put a lot of effort in. But yeah, if you like what we do, subscribe. That'll do us. Like us. All that stuff. Share us. And we'll catch you next week.
We will.
On another episode of Never a Straight Answer.
Yeah.
I've been Gaz.
I've been Taylor.
Peace.
Out. Fish fingers.
Milking the fish fingers.
Yeah, I am. I like fish today.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.